And welcome back to First, Last, and Best. And there's Hattie. And Hattie's leaving again. Bye, Hattie. It was my dog. And that just threw me off completely. So let's try that again. Take two, shall we? Starting in five. And welcome back to First, Last, and Best. We are now almost done with the Summer of Ska. Almost done with the Summer of Ska series. But we got one last thing we need to take care of, and that is our Supernova wrap-up show. And here we are, and I am distracted again. That's my fault. I hate that this is happening. This is like, all right. Oh, I'm getting my head in the game. I promise. All right. Take three. I will get it right this time. Caitlin staring at me. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin.
Jeff says hi.
Hi, Caitlin.
Everything okay? All right. Oh, pausing real quick, guys.
Okay. Hey, Ash, you go by Ash or Ashley?
Ashley. I don't know why it's coming up Ash.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How do you know Rob?
So I actually just met him on TikTok.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
TikTok.
I felt
Yep.
we felt like we needed one more voice for the Supernova wrap-up show.
No, I think that's
Um,
fantastic. I'm glad.
because
I've never made a TikTok friend, so you got one up on me, Rob.
it's basically fishing. Like, hey, who went to Supernova all 3 days? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone?
Yep.
Hey, I found a person. And
Awesome.
it
Well,
all worked out
yeah,
because
thanks for
me and
doing that.
Jeff did not go to Supernova all 3 days
Mhm.
because, families and responsibilities and
Yeah.
whatnots that we have. And I don't plan things out very well. So also my in-laws went on a cruise. So there's that. So all right. Head in the game, head in the game, head in the game, getting us done. Recording. Why am I so bad at this today, Jeff?
It's
This is the
because
new B-roll right now. This is me failing over and over again. This is the B-roll. Or I'll
You
use it for like
yelling
as
is
a
making
gag
my
reel.
nerves go away.
Okay, well, I'm glad it's working.
if you had
So,
any delusions that this was a professional thing, they're gone now.
oh God, no. We are far from professionals. All right. Getting the wiggles out, getting the wiggles out, getting the wiggles out, getting the wiggles out. Wiggles are out. All right. Take three in five. And welcome back to First, Last, and Best. That's right. Our Summer of Ska series is coming to a close, unfortunately. Does that mean we're going to stop doing episodes about Ska? No, no, it does not. We're going to continue onwards and forwards and all the shenanigans. Just maybe not with the frequency we have been since the end of July. But that is neither here nor there. We still have one more episode left to do, and that is our Supernova wrap up show. Because this past weekend, well, by the time this comes out, because this comes out on Monday, it will not be this past weekend. It will have been the weekend before, but still, this past weekend on time of recording was Supernova. And, well, we'll get there. Just give me a moment. First, let's do the socials. Obviously, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're over on TikTok at First, Last, and Best Podcast. You can find all sorts of stuff like our behind the scenes shenanigans, like the 12 minutes I just did on why I can't actually do this on a first take. Let's see here. There's my vinyl collection over on Instagram, Song of the Day on Facebook. Uh, all the information on where we are, which is on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast, you will find First, Last, and Best. Uh, we'll be getting back into different bands beyond ska in next week's episode, but we'll get that towards the end of the show. Today is actually a very special episode of the show. And in order to get there, in order to talk about Supernova, I got to introduce our guest host today. One, obviously, you guys have heard from before. It's Jeff. Jeff is back. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Hi,
I'm
Jeff.
good. You cannot get rid of me, no matter how much you try. I just keep
I can't. I really tried, but he just stuck with me the entire time we were at Supernova, which honestly was a lot of fun.
It
And now
was
we're going to go see Flying Raccoon Suit and Cat Bite tomorrow, so that's fun.
tomorrow night. Yeah.
And then also, we have another very special guest, new friend to the program, new friend to the show. She juices everything, apparently,
I
or at
do.
least on her TikTok she does. It's Ashley. Ashley, welcome to the show.
Hi.
I got to ask you a question because me and Ashley met on TikTok. I was looking for someone who went to all 3 days uh, at Supernova because I really wanted someone that's also been there Friday and Sunday beyond just me and Jeff being there on Saturday. And uh, Ashley came up. She said yes, which is weird, but hey, I'll take the win. Um, Gotta ask, what's the weirdest thing you've ever juiced?
The weirdest thing that I ever juiced.
Yes, I need to know.
Let's see. I would say it wasn't one single ingredient. It actually was carrots with ginger, and that taste was pretty weird.
I was gonna say I've made roasted carrots before, and I've used ginger along with honey, and it tasted pretty good.
Mhm.
So that does not sound all that weird. All right. Let's get on because otherwise we are going to be late for a very important date. So we're here to talk about Supernova. It is probably one of the single best festivals I've ever been to in my entire life. It's very relaxed, very enjoyable. Uh, Ashley, since you are our special guest today, because Jeff has been here multiple times over the last several months. Oh, yes, I know. Shucks. It's
I'm old
Jeffrey.
hat now.
Old hat. What made you want to go to Supernova?
Well, this is actually my second year going. So the first year I had no idea like what to expect and just like how much I was going to fall in love with it. So
Yeah,
of course I had to go back again.
of course.
Um, but my partner actually he like introduced me formally to ska, and
Mhm.
since 2023 I've been obsessed with so many different artists, and it's one of those things where I'm like I have to go and love
I
dancing, love
got you.
music, so
Um, it's the community of it too. It's
yeah,
fantastic.
sure.
What bands were playing that you felt like you had to go see?
Um, so I was really excited for Ring Ding. Unfortunately, he could not
Yeah,
be there. But then we had Alpheus, and that was just amazing. He got up there, he had us like moving around the whole entire time, and it was just that was like my highlight, honestly.
yeah,
Mm.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's the smaller bands I felt like brought something a little different, like seeing Doom Stompers.
for sure.
Uh, Considering that was like their fifth show they've ever played together, that was
Hmm.
incredibly impressive. So, Jeff, why did you want to go to Supernova? I know you went last year, or you went a day last year because Five Iron was playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I've been similar to Ashley. Like, I went last year because I mean, there's a couple bands I wanted to see, but Five Iron, who's a favorite of mine and is also a favorite of my wife's, but she had never seen them live. I'd seen them live a few times. She had
yeah,
never got to see them live, so I was like, okay, well, we've got to go. And there was other bands there that I was excited about seeing too, but similarly, I didn't expect the environment of it to be just so damn cool. Like, it's just
absolutely.
everybody is awesome. The vibes are great. There's something for everybody. And so like my wife and I were like, "Oh yeah, we're definitely coming back next year." And like we didn't know who was going to be playing or anything. We are just like, "We're definitely coming back because this was rad." And at the time, we had high aspirations. We're like, "Kids get in free. We're going to bring our kids next year." And of course, it ended up being one night and just me. But that's because life happens. But yeah, we left
That's true.
last year already like, yeah, we'll definitely go next year. It doesn't even matter like who's playing because this is just
Yeah,
an awesome festival. So
Well, that was kind of our plan. Uh, Originally, Caitlin, my wife, wanted to go because she wanted to see Less Than Jake. My wife likes ska in small doses. Enjoys it, but I will say this, it can be a lot at times. And considering how much ska music I've consumed over the last 2 months in preparing for this series, I can understand where she's coming from. But so our plan was I was planning on going at the very least on Saturday and Sunday. And then she was going to go with me on Saturday, and my in-laws were going to watch our son. But then they booked a cruise. So while I was at Supernova, they were in Vancouver, British Columbia, getting ready to get on a boat. So did not happen as like we planned. My wife was a little upset. She wanted to go, but at the same time, she also understood. So I just decided to go one day because I know, like, trying to go to Supernova and then, like, actually, you may not know this, but my son is on the autism spectrum, and he can be a lot of times, especially when he's feeling quite mischievous. So I ended up saying, you know what, I'll just do one day, and I really wanted to see Stop the Presses. I really wanted to see Catch 22. Uh, Obviously, Hub City Stompers was another highlight for me, seeing them. So I ended up deciding on Saturday, although I am really upset. And actually, you can fill me in. How was Joker's Republic? Because I'm
Um,
kind of upset I missed them.
no, they were pretty good. That was like my
Yeah.
first time seeing them. My partner actually was supposed to like play with them in the past, and
Oh,
that never,
snap.
yeah, that never planned out. But yeah, they were pretty good. I like their music.
Oh, awesome. So, what bands this year were kind of like your highlight? Like, obviously, I know you said you wanted to see Ring Ding, even though that didn't work out. But,
Yeah.
like, what other bands were a highlight for you over the weekend?
Definitely Catch 22, Hub City
Yep.
Stompers,
Yep.
um, and then Ocho Calacas. Like that.
Oh,
Oh my God. I was
I,
blown away.
yeah.
Um, they're very talented, and I just feel like the more I like hear ska core, the more I love it. But yeah, I would see like those three bands, they were like the top for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I gave them a listen before I knew I was only going to go one day, and they were very, very good. So I'm a little disappointed I ended up missing them. I think Mustard Plug is probably another one that I kind of regret not seeing. Um, but then again, I've been listening to them since high school, so
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm an old, old man. So but what else about the festival did you guys like? I mean, I really enjoy the fact that how it is laid out, how there's, obviously a stage section, people standing in one area, and then they have just like a giant seated area. Obviously, the beer tent, the vendors, everything else. I mean, what else did you guys enjoy about the festival besides just like obviously the music?
Yeah, the music is great. But I mentioned to you while we were there that I just the how welcoming and inclusive it is. Like, you can just look around and there's just so many different kinds of people there. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
from there's across ages, ethnicities, genders, like just all there's it's and nobody see like everybody's welcome and it's all one community, right? So it just being
yeah,
so welcoming, inclusive, especially in light of everything that's going on in the world, was just like such a breath of fresh air. And so I think that's something that like I it struck me last year and then still struck me again this year that I was just like they're the only thing that everybody shares in common here is just a love for this kind of music, and it's
yeah.
like the thing that is binding everybody together, and that's enough. Well, sometimes that's all it takes. And so yeah, it was just such a wonderful um just respite from all the crap that's going on in the world right now.
That's true.
Not that, stuff did get brought up from stage and talked about, it wasn't like it was,
Oh,
people
but
had
we knew that
blinders
was going to
on.
happen. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's not like people had blinders on or they were like hiding, but yeah, it was just nice to be in a place of welcome and inclusivity among just an incredibly diverse group, is really awesome to experience.
What about you, Ashley?
Yeah, I mean, so the layout of the festival, it was similar to last year. Um, the biggest difference that I noticed was just that the porta potties, they were actually in a different location this year, which
They
wasn't
were
like
on a
a
straight
big
line
deal.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, and that was like the biggest thing that I noticed. And of course, they didn't have the VIP tower, but I believe that was
yeah,
probably just due to the weather because it rained that day. So
that's true.
um, yeah, they probably just couldn't put it up. But yeah, I have always loved the way that it's laid out. Last year I did not bring any like chairs or anything, but this year I was like, okay, well, I know what to expect. So I actually brought the chairs with me. We were able to like set up our chairs and just kind of chill out when we wanted to. Um, yeah, I loved how everything was set up.
I think that was one thing. Like I brought my book bag this year because last year I didn't know what to expect. So I just showed up like it was any old concert.
Mhm.
Um, this year I knew I was going to go vinyl hunting. So I brought my book bag with me. I had a water bottle with me. Like I felt like I was prepared, and I still felt like I was underprepared. Although I did, like I think I had two people, uh, the lead singer from Joker's Republic, and I think one of the backing singers from Stop the Presses mentioned like having my book bag and just sliding the vinyls in there, so that way I didn't have to carry them around. And honestly, that would made things a hell of a lot easier versus carrying stuff around all day because I bought way too much. And Jeff actually talked me into the Hippos album
Yeah,
that we saw Asbestos had, which that
twisted your arm at that one.
yeah, you kind of did. No, you didn't, but still, you're like, hey, there's that Hippos record we just talked about on the episode. I stared at it. I was like, it's $25. That's not bad. I was gonna say that the prices weren't bad either.
Mhm.
Like I was kind of surprised. Like I guess I'm just so used to like bands like have jacked up their prices on merch so much over the years that I saw $25 for a vinyl and I'm like sold. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Let me buy that. Let me spend more money. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no inside information, I should say, but I wonder if that's indicative of Supernova not demanding much of a merch cut because I know particularly at festivals, the festival will take a cut of bands' merch, and so that's one
yeah,
of the reasons why merch at festivals is so high is because the bands will have to pay out the festival of the
hmm,
things they sell too. So I wonder if Supernova was. I mean, they seem really cool about so many things. I wonder
that's true.
if that was another way that they were helping support those bands is by not asking for a merch cut, which might have been why the prices were lower. I have no idea if that's true or not. That's just speculation, but.
Did you have to do that audio feed?
Nope. Nope. Also very
Oh,
cool at
okay.
audio feed.
All right. Actually, if you didn't know, Jeff plays bass and he sings for a band that's local here called Sam's the Hero. So
Okay.
they played a festival in Illinois.
Yeah.
Was it Illinois or Indiana?
Illinois.
Did you
It's like
guys?
the Champaign Urbana, Illinois.
Okay. Yeah, they played a
Okay.
festival out there back in
It's over.
July, June.
Yeah, it was over 4th of July.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the festival's like the third through the sixth, but we played on the third.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
another new band I'll have to check out.
Oh, they're on Spotify. Go listen to them. Go listen to Sam's the Hero. If I
Definitely.
haven't told you, go listen to Sam's the Hero. Actually, one of their songs is mine and my wife's song, or at least it was. No, it still is. Uh, that yeah, we were gonna ask Jeff to play it at our wedding, but me and Jeff weren't like as close of friends at that point, so I felt weird asking him, so I did not. I regret that to this day, but that's neither here nor there. The weird things you find out on this show. First, last, and best. We do weird. Anyways, so what are you guys hoping for next year? Well, first and foremost, are you going to go next year?
I'm
Yeah.
definitely going 100% next year.
All right,
Yeah.
Jeff,
Yeah. We'll
are we
see.
going next year?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what plan because like right now I'm like, oh yeah, next year I'm going all 3 days and I'm taking my whole family, which is
Yeah,
exactly
it's
what
gonna be
I said
great.
leaving last year. So we'll see, we'll see what actually happens. But like
Yeah,
I know we touched on the layout, but there is like musically there's something for everybody. You've got
that's
like
true.
your old school reggae, your third wave, your poppy stuff, your ska core. You've got,
Got a
but then
lot of two tone
also
too.
yeah, but then like in the layout, like I said, you've got your up front, your circle pits, your dancing, you've got your chill sitting lawn chairs. They've even got like a kids area in the
Yeah,
back, which
that
kids
was
get in
nice.
free, like I think 11 and under maybe.
Kids under 10.
Under
I
10.
think it's
Okay.
10 and under.
Yeah, like they get in free. And so it really is like it's just a place you can go chill and like yeah. So right now the plan is 3 days, whole family. We'll see if that stands up to life, whatever life looks like next year. But
Probably not, because I'm gonna go all 3 days too, and that means I'll go one day.
uh,
We'll see. I don't know. It depends. Supernova. All I'm saying is that during this entire run up uh, in our Summer of Ska series, all I've talked about is Supernova. You know, if you want to give me a press pass, I can cover Supernova next year for the podcast. I could do a live episode too if you want. Huh? Huh? Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, it would.
do it.
This is just me trying to, do something here. Why not? What is it Wayne Gretzky said? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
I
How
think that
can
was
you argue with the great one? Is
think that
all
was
I'm
Michael
saying.
Scott actually. It's Michael Scott from The Office.
Jeff, why do you have to ruin things? You just ruined things. You just took it and you ruined it. You ruined a perfectly good moment for me. So, and speaking of next year, are there bands you're hoping make an appearance next year, or were there bands that weren't there this year that you were hoping for that you hope show up next year, or like what do you think?
For sure. Um, yeah,
Like
I
who?
honestly, I would just love to see everyone that could not make it this year.
Oh yeah,
Um, and then also like I would love like some local bands too.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of like suppositories. I would love if they were there. The Agrolites, that would be awesome.
yeah.
Um,
Murphy's Kids too.
yeah,
Murphy's Kids would be cool. Uh, I wonder, is Jack Move still around?
I was right about to say a Jack Move reunion would be cool.
I saw them. They opened for Authority Zero, but that was I want to say it was like 6 years ago. So I don't know if they're still around or not. Their
They
music is still on Spotify, but
yeah, they always seem to pop up and surprise me. Like there'll be a random show and I'll be like, "Oh, cool. I haven't heard like of them doing anything in years, but here they." So, I don't think that
yeah,
would be completely out of the realm of possibility at all. Yeah.
Backside Slappy too.
that'd be
Now I'm
cool.
just naming bands that I grew up with. Oh God, the No Talent Show.
Oh,
Did you ever see them?
oh yeah, I was good. Yeah, I was good friends with Damien.
Yeah,
And then we played with them several times back when because we were just getting started. They were already like local fixtures when we were just playing our first shows, and so we
yeah.
played some like local CC shows and some bar outside of ODU. We played with them. So yeah, we played a few shows. Oh, we even played it was actually a really cool show. It was like a MMA dojo, and they had like cleared like they had taken the ring ropes off, so the bands played like in the ring. And
Oh really?
yeah, that was really
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
And that just happened to be like the dojo that Damien like trained at. And so he started booking shows out of there. And so he booked, I think that was up on like Newtown Road or something. It was a long, long time ago.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so yeah, we played with the Town Show a few times. And I ran into Damien last year. He's playing at, he was like, or had a regular gig at Keegan's up at Town Center here, Virginia Beach. And so he was like playing there weekly. So yeah, I still run into that guy, but yeah, no talent show. I don't know about it. That might be that. Unlike Jack Move, I think that might be a long shot for a reunion, but it still would be
yeah,
really cool. I would love to see. So, Rob and I were talking to one of the guys at the asbestos table, and he had mentioned little T. that they had reached out to the Hippos, who we featured on
Mhm.
bands you should be listening
Binge.
to, and that they had tried to work out a Hippos reunion for the show.
Wow.
And so he didn't make it sound like they were particularly like close. Um, but
That
I
would be
would
cool if they
still,
did that though.
yeah, I would still love to hold it out. Like if they couldn't do it this year, hopefully he'll reach out again next year. That would be amazing. Um, and then I also think, I mean, I would love to see like I mean, I'm just thinking of who are my favorite bands, but I would
Yeah,
love
yeah.
to see Millington, do a
Millington would be fun.
set. Um, but yeah, I think my especially based on what they shared with us, I would die to see a Hippos reunion. I think that would be amazing.
The guy from Asbestos, the weirdest thing he told us, but the one I just really want with all of my heart is because Lord Jane Grace did the Operation Ivy
Oh
cover
yeah,
set
yeah.
with the people from Catbite.
Catbite. Mhm.
He was talking about how they had reached out to, and he did not seem overly opposed, but it didn't happen. Having Frank Turner team up with Beto and Sound Clash to do a
Oh,
specials cover set.
wow. That
I
would be
would love that because I love me some Frank Turner. Frank
amazing.
Turner's amazing. And but just to see him play a ska show would be so out of bounds, but so wonderfully perfect. But I agree, Millington would be great to see. I'd like Flying Raccoon Suit to come back. Five Iron Frenzy, because I did not get to see them last year. Um,
Streetlight will
I
have the new album out by then.
Streetlight will have the new album in theory.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
maybe we get a
let's
Streetlight.
hope.
But in all honesty, if I could wish one band into existence or into a reunion, it would be the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Because that's one band I never got to see. In 20 plus years of going to concerts, I never saw the Boss Tones. And that is just one band I would love to see. So, oh, so normally this show has a tendency to go on for a very long time, and it will continue. But unfortunately, we must take a small break as we set up for our special guest who will be appearing here in our next segment. But now, this advertisement for your viewing pleasure. Do you guys really think I was going to do an ad read? Just go to the next segment. And thank you for joining us. We are back from our ad break. No, that wasn't actually an ad break, but that's neither here nor there. As I mentioned earlier, we have a very special and surprise guest, and I am very thankful that they are here with us, joining us actual professionals, people who actually played at Supernova, not just fans who were there to enjoy Supernova, people who played that we got to watch play at Supernova. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ali and Danny from Stop the Presses. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on First, Last, and Best. Yeah. Sorry.
Thanks for having us. We're so excited.
Hello.
So,
Yes, it's
so,
good to be here.
so you guys, are you from New York originally, or
No,
no?
we're from
Just
we're from South Florida, Miami.
okay.
The band started
Yeah.
down there for about 5 years, and then we kind of wanted to get like more serious or cover more territory, and we decided to move to New York and remade everything. So for us to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Danny and I are the two kids from South Florida. But the rest of the band is from New York.
Okay.
And I think Rick is from like Massachusetts. Or actually he's from the Midwest.
Michigan,
Right, yeah, Midwest.
Michigan? Oh,
Michigan.
nice.
But all those folks are like Steve and Mel are like Long Island, and Liz is also New York, and so just
Okay.
us. We're just the two Florida kids.
The South Florida kids that came up to New York.
Yeah.
All right. Usually it's people go from New York to Florida,
Yep.
then
Yep.
the opposite direction. But hey,
Oh,
we'll
so
take it.
awesome.
So
Yeah, my parents are like those. My parents are both from the Northeast. Like my dad's from Rochester, mother's from Rhode Island, who went to Florida. And then I was like, oh God, It's get me out of here.
Back
So
to the
then
north. Back to the north.
so I went back to the north. So I have a lot of family.
Nice. I gotcha.
Back to New York.
I was gonna say, my family's originally from New York. I still have family that lives out on Long Island. My mom was actually born in Brooklyn.
Oh,
So
cool.
when I saw you guys were from Brooklyn, I was like, oh, okay, well, this could be interesting. So you said the band started. How long have you guys been together officially?
Our first show was on the 24th of October, 2010. So we are about to be at 15 years. But I mean, there was like a little bit of a hiatus in between there. We released our first two EPs records in Miami. And then kind of took a few years to get our feet under us here in New York. We had like took 2 years of just like pretending like we could deal with New York and level up to you know all of the stuff here. And then we spent about like a year and a half in earnest writing the record Money in the Bank and playing shows and trying to get our feet under us.
Yeah.
And that finally came together in 2019. We moved to New York in 2015. And yeah, 4th of July 2019 was when we released Money in the Bank, which is our first New York record. And then a couple years went by of like touring and trying to do those things. And then we released Got It in 2023, 22, something like that.
Yep.
Nice. So have you guys always been kind of like a key-centric ska, like rock steady reggae type of music, or has it been kind of an evolution for you, or?
I think Money in the Bank and Got It are both like really keys and guitar lead heavy.
Mm,
And yeah, like definitely like using vocals and keys to kind of like fill out like where you would hear horns and everything for a traditional for most ska bands. We're really going
yeah,
like you said, we're banking off of like old rock steady and old like Jamaican ska, which didn't, some of that didn't really have horns. But I think the
that's true.
earlier records, if you listen to like Does It Still Look Pretty and Escandalo, you'll notice that like both of those records, I think we're still kind of figuring out our sound. They're like a little bit more punk, and they also do have like more horns. Like Escandalo is like filled with horns. Actually,
Yeah.
Jer Scott Network.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they helped actually arrange a lot of those parts and played a ton on Escandalo as well.
I was gonna say I was listening to the Bruce Lee band earlier today. I picked up oh my God, I forgot the name of the record, but I picked up one of their records not too long ago and was listening to that earlier today. And he's incredible. Apologies, they are incredible. I've always been blown away by their music. So,
Yeah, we knew
but
Baby Jer. We knew Baby Jer in Miami when they were just like in high school, like coming fresh out of high school.
oh
So,
my God,
yeah, so we used to play shows back then. That was like, forever ago. We were
yeah,
all babies back then.
no, we're all small. So let's kind of shift focus onto actually Supernova. What do you feel was the biggest difference between this year's festival versus the when you guys played in 2021?
Definitely the stages. I mean, when we played in 20 and the venue was different. When we played in 2021, it was at a brewery, and there was like a small stage that had like the smaller bands. If you can believe Catbite was on the smaller stage like us, and there was a lot of groups on that one. And then they had the big stage. So
Yeah.
this year it's kind of cool, like with the Kingston Hampton stage, is that you had two equally large, equally well, worked out with sound. Yeah, the sound lighting crew this year was incredible. I would say also, yeah, just like the size of it, it was like this is a bigger field now where they're doing it at.
Yeah.
And the beer is better.
Oh yes, I 100% agree because last year was my first year going to Supernova, so like I didn't get to do the I forgot which brewery it was, but I remember
Called Ouzel Finch. They like
Ouzelfinch. That's right.
yeah, they kind of
Um,
like their main focus is on like sours, and it was just not great. The only thing that was like available
Yeah.
outside of their beers was the Ska Lager from Ska Brewing, who's been a partner forever with Supernova. But yeah, the beer selection was much better off.
Very good.
I was gonna say I am a fan of the Ska Lager, but I had bought a couple beer tickets. I had only used one, and I lost mine like I think at some point while I was watching y'all's set, because I remember going into my pocket being like, "Oh, let me go get a beer right now. Their set's over. Let me go ahead before Hub City Stompers really starts getting in earnest." And I was like, "Oh no, they're gone. All right, well, that's fine. Let's move on with the day, I guess." So obviously, this set list y'all played um, this year, uh, very heavy with Got It, which I'm personally very much enjoyed. Also, new track, which we will touch on here in a couple of minutes. But what goes into your thought process when crafting your set list for a festival like this or for any show, really?
It's a combination of a few things. Really, it's kind of uh we look out for the songs that people like the most. You know, we try them out,
Yeah.
and people gravitate towards certain songs, and then we also get bored of playing songs sometimes, and we decide, oh, we're gonna sub this in for that. Swords was a song that we didn't start playing kind of right away when Got It came out. We were pushing the singles on Got It, which were Rebel Girl and Ride or Die and Fat Cats, and we kind of put Swords to the side a little bit for that. And then we got bored of playing so many of the Got It songs, and we started playing Swords, and people responded to it like crazy.
Yeah.
Other than that, there was really like a concentration of we wanted to make it special, and it sucks because everybody is also trying to make it special.
Oh, of course.
But the problem with that is that, like, you know, it's a genre, not a, you know, not even a problem, but the extra layer of work is that it's a genre based festival, so everybody's kind of going to be pulling the same strings of, you know, like trying to make something that's like groovy but also nostalgic, and you know, and unheard before but also not fully unheard, that you're losing, you know, a huge audience. So we wanted to do a new song of the new bank of songs that we're working on right now, which was it's called Kill the Ghost. It's a
Yep.
pretty serious song with a happy beat, sort of. And that was a really cool one. And we were trying to figure out something else. You know, we kind of, I guess, like patent our covers in a different way, or we try to like just not run through something, you know, like verse, chorus, bridge, verse
Yeah.
out. You know, we always try to like fuck with things. Can I say fuck with things? Is
You
that
can say fuck as much as you want.
okay? I will test
I'm
it.
not monetized. I don't care.
Sweet. I love it. Yeah, we try to fuck with things as much as possible, which you've I'm sure heard with
Yeah.
Rebel Girl and Dead Man's Party and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And we had this idea a while ago. I had like demoed out. I was honestly, it started out as in earnest trying to demo out this one song by Yes, and then I was sitting here just like sitting in and fucking around, and this other song came to my mind, and I demoed a bunch of that stuff, and we left it there for like 2 years, and then we were coming up on Supernova, and that we were trying to like, we should add a new cover, we should add something that people like but isn't like just hitting them over the head with the same thing that everybody else is going to be, you know, hitting them
Yeah.
with. Trying to stand out, you know, early in the day. We'll see how this goes. And we injected those things, and then we tried to then balance that out with stuff that people know really well, and then a strong ending, you know, with the songs that people really like, with
Of course.
Rebel Girl and Wasted Youth, that people were looking forward to hearing from us do. I think we premiered Rebel Girl
Yeah, in
at
2021.
Supernova in 2021.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
it was
damn. That's
recorded
awesome.
yet. Yeah, it wasn't recorded yet. And it was like, yeah, it was like we were putting this set together and we wanted like an ebb and flow, like where we want like, you know, like we bring everything up, and then we've got like the steppers, kind of like you get like Jolene and you start getting a little bit more into the rock steady and that like reggae,
Yeah.
like strong reggae vibes. And then you can kind of keep people there for a little bit, and then you got to rub them back up again, you know, with like Terminator Rebel and then Wasted. So, you know, so then that way that the set is like, I think if you have a set that's just all like, you know, it's
Yeah.
for me, I don't know if it's just me, but like to me, sometimes it's a little exhausting in watching a band, and if everything is just like all
High energy.
yeah, and then I never
Yeah.
have a moment of like climbing back and getting that climax again, you know. So it's like
That's true.
yeah, so putting this set together was like really fun. because I think people that were there on the ride with us, which was really cool.
Yeah. I was gonna say Rebel Girl, and then seeing some of the ladies from Girl Review out front. That was really cool. Obviously, bringing out Jenny Whiskey for Terminator. Uh, Big Hub City Stompers fan, so that was awesome. That was a good moment. And
She
honestly,
crushed it.
yes, she did. And honestly, "Kill the Ghost" might be my new favorite song y'all do.
Oh, nice.
Uh, I when you said you were playing a new song, I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. A lot of this is new-ish to me, so let's go ahead and. Well, when y'all started getting into it, I was like, oh shit, this is something special.
Oh, thank you.
Really, that was.
My
I,
gosh.
there's a lot of times like with new songs where I'm just gonna be like, okay, well, I can't quite find it, but with that, it was
No,
instantaneous. It
it was
was
scary too
so
because
good.
it was scary too
Oh, I'm
because
sure.
we've been working on the next album, so we've been working really hard this summer, and it's like that thing of like it's good to try out songs on an audience before you're gonna record them as well, because yeah, you get that feedback of like
Yeah.
how's this gonna hit. And I'm
So
saying, I was like, thank God it was Supernova, because it's like everyone there is like so happy to hear anything that you're doing. I feel like even if it would have been a huge flop, I still feel like it would have gone well, because it's like the audience is so wonderful, such amazing.
I was gonna say, I still think everyone would have just been like, "Oh, that was fantastic."
Yeah,
No matter what happened, you could have just like fart on a snare drum, as they say in
exactly.
Airheads, and we would have all enjoyed it anyway. So,
I
um,
haven't heard back. I haven't heard, honestly, I haven't heard any of the video back of it. So I hope it came out good. Everybody's saying
I
that
saw some
it was
clips.
awesome. So
I saw some
I
clips.
was able to get a small clip of it, and I threw it
nice.
up on TikTok and when we're on Instagram. So,
Oh,
uh, honestly, I very much enjoyed it. That was a great song, and kind of pivoting from that. You mentioned, or I believe it was you, Ali, mentioned in one of your reels leading up into Supernova that this entire festival felt like a ska convention. What was y'all's favorite part of the entire weekend? Obviously, besides your set.
um, favorite part, I think just meeting with fans, meeting friends, meeting fans, seeing everybody again. Like we have Ska's this amazing community all over the world, because there's people really that even still people from like the different countries that came. Um, and we're just so lucky, I think all of us, not just like me and Danny, but like everybody in the Ska community, that Supernova is a place where we can all like get together, and it's like camp. I didn't go
Yeah,
to camp. I was too poor to go to camp as a kid, but
I didn't
you know
either. So,
Danny. But now I feel like I'm an adult camper, and it's like Supernova's this thing of like every year, yeah, like we're all getting together to see our friends all over the country or all over the world. And we get to like link up, and honestly I wish it was longer. It's like 3 days. Everyone's got to get back to work on Monday and all the things, but it's really not,
yeah,
that's
that
that's
sucks.
my favorite part, I think, is like getting to see all my friends and everything and see the bands.
I was gonna tack this on before, and this kind of is like a melancholic kind of way to tag it on here, or whatever. Which is that one of the differences about this year also was that there was actually less international bands this year than last year because of
Yeah,
all the shit that's going on in the country. That's like
that
super like
sucked.
Yes.
It
not
was really
ska,
disappointing.
man. Yeah,
For
it was
real.
pretty disappointing. So I will say, like, for me, a big part of it is being able to see bands that we've only seen in Europe or not at all be able to play here. And I
Yeah,
really wish there would have been a little bit more of that this year. But yeah, it's like the best thing is just seeing all of our friends. Everybody's there for the same thing, for the same reason. Especially as you tour, you do develop relationships like all over the place, and some of them they just live on those like connections of like, hey, saw you here now, and hey, saw you here now,
yeah,
between musicians and also between fans, man. It's like we're all really excited to be there for each other, and Supernova is just the exact right vibe, the perfect
yes.
environment for all of us to enjoy ourselves.
I was gonna say the one constant about the Summer of Ska series that we've been doing on the show is that we've just about every week we have somehow discussed how the ska community is so diverse and so inclusive and so supportive of one another that it's unlike really anything else in music. And that's one thing like I love about Supernova is just how welcoming everybody is. I said it last year was the first time I went to Supernova, and I said it then and I'll say it now. It is easily the best festival environment I've ever been in my entire life. Warped Tour is cool and all, but at the same time, there's nothing quite like Supernova. It's just a completely different animal, and I would rather pay my money to people like Tim and go to Supernova every year versus anything else because it's unlike anything anyone will ever go to. So I love it. It
Yeah,
really is fantastic,
it hasn't gotten too big for its britches, which is I think a big
which I'm thankful for, to be honest with you. So I would not as I would love for Tim and the group to be successful. At the same time, I want it to continue just kind of like how it is
yeah, I
because
don't think it
it's
has to change, man. I don't think
no.
anything at all has to change at all. Just maybe um another day.
Yeah.
Like
I'm good with 4 days. I
yeah,
don't know if I'd be able
Friday
to
to
make it
Monday
all
or
four
Thursday
days,
to
but
Sunday kind of a thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
that would be pretty cool.
Yep.
So
Camping on grounds would be
besides,
super dope.
Yeah.
pardon?
Camping on the grounds would be super dope.
Oh, I can't do that. I live like 40 minutes away from Hampton, so I can just go home and sleep in my own bed. I'm fine
Sick,
with that.
sick.
I'll
Yeah.
drive back in the next morning. Um, Besides obviously your set, were there any bands like in particular you guys were excited to see or just hang out with or
Yeah, I was really excited to see Less Than Jake. That was like a bucket list. I never saw them as a kid, or if I did, I think I saw them at like the very first Warped Tour when I was like in high school. And then that was kind of the only time I ever saw them again. So I was really looking forward to that. And I was
yeah,
looking forward also to the Calamatics, which they were really great as well. But I think like the ones that like kind of like blue, like the ones that I was like, oh my god, holy shit, the Flatliners. I don't really
yeah,
like, I didn't really know very much about them. They were amazing. They put on a great show. And then it was really, I'm so glad that Duck Skanks got to play because we played with them in Germany. What was that, 2 years ago at Freedom Sounds
yeah.
Festival, and they played right before us. And it was like we were doing a bunch of shit, and so it was like I didn't get to actually see their set. So it was, I'm so happy that they were at the festival, and I'm so glad I got to catch their set. It was really fun.
What about you, Danny? Any bands in particular you really enjoyed or
Um, I think all of that. I echo all of that. I mean, Lesson Jake was the big monster for us. We couldn't stay for Bedouin, which was kind of a little bit of a heartbreak for me because that was the other big headliner that I wanted to see. Ocho
yeah,
Caracas was really great to see live. You hear a lot about them on the internet all the time, and it was a really good show. I think everybody who came, even like our friends, like Joker's Republic and the Doom Stompers, dear friend of mine, Vinny, his band, like everybody fucking showed up, bro. Everybody was like, oh shit,
yeah,
let's do it. Everybody had their fucking nails right, had their hair right, had their instruments right. Everybody practiced. I'm so proud of everybody practicing.
Yeah. The bands
Uh,
earlier in the day, they
yeah,
younger band that, like fucking crushed. So it's like
Yeah.
they were so good, you know.
It was great to see Chris Murray also. I don't like,
oh yeah,
I will just, I would watch Chris Murray, like, I don't know, like garden. I just want that man to do anything, and it's gonna be both entertaining and like peaceful and also humbling and like brilliant all at the same time.
yeah,
That will never get old for me.
Yeah, he
nice.
makes me starstruck because he like came up to Danny and I and he like hugged us and was like, I'm so happy to and I'm always like, dude, this guy knows, how does this guy know who I am? And it like makes me feel so good. He's just a wonderful light.
That's awesome.
Starlight. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Honestly, that's how I felt when you guys even responded to me. I was like, oh my God, this is so much fun. I told my wife that I was going to be interviewing you guys, and she's just like, oh my God, really? It's like,
Oh,
Oh, dude,
do they know what your
pass it up.
podcast is? I was like, I don't know, but I'm going to
Pass it
pretend.
up. we're
we
So,
in trade, man. I run a podcast about science fiction movies. Uh, it's called
What
Super
is it
Science
called?
Adventure. Ali
Okay.
is my co-host on it. We've done a
Nice.
bunch of movies. I have a couple more in the can that are about to get released, and it's all just like, one another big overlap of ska fans and all this stuff is sci-fi, fantasy, adventure, and
Of course.
superhero movies, and like that all like ties in horror and all this other stuff. A few episodes are out already, and yeah, man, we could trade, you know, our adorable little projects for each other, and
Oh,
be
that
all
sounds like fun.
humble to each other about the impact we're making on each
I
other.
was gonna say I've been podcasting for 4 years now. I started out with a parenting podcast I did called Go Ask Your Father, uh, because I have a son who's on the autism spectrum, so I've always been trying to advocate fatherhood and just really kind of being there for your kids. And then for a while, I did movie fan theories
Okay.
with a group of friends of mine, and then that just kind of crashed and burned after a year. But this show in particular is something that I've always kind of gnawed on over the last couple of years, but it wasn't until probably this past May that I really started getting it really going and actually finding my footing.
Yeah.
So, but this is something completely different than what I normally do. I don't interview people. It's usually like, let's pick a band and then we'll talk about them
Yeah.
ad nauseum and just really kind of annoy people. So, but now I'm actually talking to people and it's weird and I don't
I think
understand
it's
it. But
great.
I'll, well, thank you. Well, you guys are doing this and I'm still kind of starstruck a little
Oh,
bit. So
dude,
don't mind me.
all I need is a microphone, and
Oh,
I'm
great.
I'm good.
Excellent. So obviously touring has its complications. Um, Festivals have to have their complications. What is probably the most challenging part that most people do not see when you're getting
I
ready for a festival like this?
I saw this when you sent us the questions, which I kind of like love
Yeah.
your questions. I'm not gonna lie. This is a great question. I don't think people like think about this one. I had to think really hard about it. Yeah, like what's the challenge of playing a festival like this, right?
Yeah.
Um, so funny enough, I think it was Mel that said to us on Saturday morning, like as we were like leaving the hotel and going to the festival, we were all like making cute jokes about how like, oh my god, how'd you know you're gonna wear purple and da 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 da, and we were all laughing and being silly, and we were like in the car, and then later on she said to me, and she was like, I can't get over how calm you and Danny were. You were like laughing. We were listening to like he started talking about Puerto Rico. We played Bad Bunny in the car on the way there. We were all goofing off and then we just like had the best time ever. And I'm like, yeah, I suppose that would be very stressful for most people. For us, it's like, this is fun. Like we're excited to do it. I believe in my team. That's not really the difficult part of it at all. That's the fun, is like, I got a great crew. We know the songs. We can't wait to do it. I think the hardest part is after the show, because you're like, I think it is because it's like you're from this high,
Yeah.
and then we played the set and I was like down, like I'm like an energizer bunny. I'm usually like, so I'm always on 100% no matter what. Like it's just who I
Yeah.
am. So I think the hardest part was like that come down, and then like talking to everybody and signing things and then selling things and da 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 da. And I felt like that was kind of the hardest part. It was like by like 7 o'clock that night, I was drained. I was exhausted. I had to go to the guest services and just like have coffee and like try to recharge my battery because it was like the
I was
stamina
gonna
of
say
like,
there's still more bands. There's still more to go. So
exactly. And I was like, I don't want to miss anything. And I think that was the hardest part, was like trying to gain the stamina back of like, I just came from this super, super high, like to recharge my battery. I remember even Steve was like, dude, I've never seen you so tired after a gig in your life. Like, are you okay? You okay, girl? And I was like, I gotta recharge, man. I had like 2 cups of coffee just because it was like, still gotta go see bands, still gotta go to this
yeah.
after party afterwards. I really wanted to see Jack Mendez. And it was, so I, for me, honestly, that was actually the hardest part, was like after the set, trying to regain my strength again. It's funny,
Yeah.
it's crazy. That doesn't really happen to me. Usually pretty, I'm on it.
Well, it's at the same time, considering it is a festival, considering how long it is to begin with, and then especially playing early in the day, having that adrenaline high. Like I haven't played on stage in years, so it's and obviously not to the degree that you guys are playing, but having to play early, having that high adrenaline, get through the set, make sure you don't screw anything up, play solidly, and then you still have the rest of the day that you have to get through.
So the
So
rest-
I
I'm like, damn, girl, I'm old. I'm like ready. I was like, I need a nap. But I still, I feel like the rest of the day I was like maybe at like 70% because I was so like trying to regain my strength again.
yeah,
Yeah, for me, it's just it's a long ass day.
Yeah.
yeah,
Even the like even for a work day, it's longer than a work day. Especially, it's longer than a gig day. Like even by the standards of us like playing gigs or whatever, we're like usually there somewhere between like 4 and 6 and kind of out by midnight.
yeah.
Which is fine, but you're at a festival for fucking 12 hours, man, easily.
That's
And
It's
it's
a
like
long time.
and it's sunlight, through most of that. So like no matter what, it's not easy to like stay up the whole time and then
No.
unless you do production work. And then it's like a normal day ish. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, it's just long. Even my social battery, like I pretend very well to be extroverted, but I like, I want my blankie, I want some South Park, and I want you know, maybe a ramen. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
100% get that.
yeah, we all
I
went to the after party and we were just pooped.
yeah.
It was like
you're like, do I have to talk to people now? I really don't.
well, we
But
ate our
I will, but
we were all hungies, so we ate our dinner together, and then we all
yeah.
kind of like dispersed. Okay, gonna go watch and dance, and you're like talking, and then I can't remember, like someone put in the chat is like 1 a.m. bus call, and it was like yeah, I think it was you, and it was funny because it was like I was off like talking to people, and then it's like 12:59 and I'm like, all right, bye guys. And again, I'm a very extroverted person, like seriously, I am like I'm down to party normally. It was 12:59, I like walk outside, the five of them are already on the curb ready to go. It's 1 a.m. on the dot, and I was like, here, present. And they all just started laughing because I don't think they were even expecting me to be like, I'm spent. Get me to that hotel room. I'm ready to sleep. I need to sleep.
It's
Like,
nap time.
yeah, exactly. It was
Yeah.
a long day.
I was gonna say I mean, I think I will say that I left before Less Than Jake just because I have seen Less Than Jake so many times that I am a huge I play bass. Roger is on my bass player Mount Rushmore,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I have seen Less Than Jake more times than I'd really care to say. There's only two bands that I've probably seen more than them, and that's Dropkick Murphys and probably Coheed and Cambria
Oh, well.
that I've
Yeah.
seen more than Less Than
Dude, I
Jake.
fucking love Coheed,
Yeah,
man.
me
We could
too.
Coheed
do a
is
whole Coheed episode, man.
first episode I ever did.
Let's
I did
go.
with my friend Joey, and we did Coheed and Cambria. But they've
Like as a
released three
band, or
albums since
you
then.
covered a record.
We cover no, we so first, last, and best. The concept is we cover their first album, their last album, or latest album, and then we decide which we think is their best album,
Cool.
and
And
then
In
we do a
Keeping
top three
Secrets
list.
is
In Keeping Secrets was my best album, and which
yeah.
really makes me kind of sad because they have put out so much great
Yeah,
music since
okay.
then. But
But
In Keeping
fuck, man.
Secrets is from front to back
Front to
one of
back.
the
I agree.
single greatest albums ever.
I think
So
it's a beautiful piece of work. I think it's like such I could not agree more, man. It's like it also has that like wonderful simplicity of like it's the most like in earnest we're trying shit out for the first time kind
yeah,
of thing where you don't overplay, where you don't overwrite, where you also aren't
yeah.
trying on purpose to like hold it back so you can get on the radio. There's just like innocence and fucking work on that record that I love to death.
I forgot what album it is, and give me a second because I'm looking it up because otherwise it's going to drive me crazy all night. But it was where did Coheed and Cambria? I'm looking on their Spotify because this is what I do with my life. Because at that point it was it was either the Afterman or the Year of the Black Rainbow. I don't remember which one. That's kind of where they lost me for a minute
Right.
because like it was after the whole Kuwait and Cambria series. They ended it with After No World for Tomorrow,
Right.
and then they started going in a different direction and they started trying different things. And they started trying more things, and I just couldn't get on board with it. And then it was like Color Before the Sun that I'm like, okay, because he wrote the song Atlas for his son.
Yeah.
And I actually would play that because that came out. He put out an acoustic version he put on YouTube,
I'm
and
familiar.
I would play that for my son at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning when he would wake up after he was first born, and I would play that for him, and it would help him fall asleep. So that's when I really started getting back into Coheed again. And we are now completely off topic, but that's okay because that's honestly what this show is basically all about is us falling down a rabbit hole.
Oh,
You should,
cool.
my friend Foster and I, we did one episode and it's probably for the best we don't do another one for a while because we're so ADHD rattled that we just kind of like wander off in different directions. So just like I just did right there. So, um, thank you guys for doing this. I mean, I really don't have any more questions about the festival, other than I just really enjoyed speaking with you both. Um, Truly means a lot. Uh, Getting to see you guys play was incredibly wonderful. I'm looking forward to if you guys ever come back to Virginia, seeing you again. I actually had a great conversation with your bass player, who I guess is an Everton fan.
He will do
As
that.
He's
Yes.
lovely.
So
We love
so
him.
I ran into him. I just told him you guys had a great set. We had like a good 5 minute conversation about English football. So it was a lot of fun.
Dude,
So
Steve makes it really easy. We were on tour once
great.
in Atlanta, and we were staying at Ali's cousin's house. And it's like this like idyllic, tiny little suburb, like craftsman homes, artist, homes, and all this shit. And like my Ali's cousin, like our in-laws, like our family.
yeah.
Has just getting home, and Steve is standing in front of his own house, in front of my cousin's house, with his like arm up on the roof of the car, or like on the thing, like in the window, like talking to him, like, yeah, neighbor, and all this shit. And then like, we walk out, and we're like, Steve, you don't even fucking live here. This isn't your house.
Doesn't matter.
State. What are you doing? And he's like, let the man park, please. Like,
Drive in the road.
he's like leaning in the window, just like, yeah, man. I mean, what can you do? At one point, he like legit just like throws up this hand back here, like leaning in there, like, what's up with you guys? How the kids doing?
Everyone having a great day.
Oh my god, he's a riot.
I'm your new uncle.
Yeah, legit. So you will have a lovely time with Steve for sure.
Oh God, he
Party
was
Steve.
fantastic. Yeah. So once again, thank you guys for coming on the show. That is it. That's it for Supernova. Our summer of ska has come to an end. It's kind of sad. Obviously,
Can't
we
wear
will be
ska after Labor
continuing.
Day.
No, you can't. We will most likely be doing more ska bands throughout the year, and I have to say that we'll be bringing it back next year, probably closer to end of July, throughout August, and running into Supernova, because this was just a shitload of fun. I had a blast doing this. And we'll obviously be running into Supernova next year. And hey, if anyone from Supernova sees this, if you want me to cover Supernova next year or do a live episode from Supernova next year, I'd be happy to. I'm free. I don't do anything. I'm just saying. Gonna throw that out there. You never know.
Definitely.
Just
Highly
going fishing.
recommended. Highly recommended.
Going fishing.
Love
Pretty
it.
please.
So much
Pretty
for
please.
happiness.
Pretty please. Anyways, thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thank
We'll
you,
be
man.
back
So
next
much.
week. We'll be back next week, where my wife will finally be making her grand appearance here on First, Last, and Best, where we'll be covering finally Good Charlotte, her favorite band of all time. Until next week, have a good night. Take care.